Hey, it's Dave. I'm back with my 2016 third generation Honda Pilot. Lucky number 5 has come up on the maintenance minder, which means it's time for a coolant change. So today I'm going to do a coolant drain and fill. I'm not doing a coolant flush, I'm doing a drain and fill on the coolant. So let's get started. You're watching Dave's Auto DIY. So the coolant I'm going to use today, I bought from the dealer, Honda Type 2 antifreeze. You can buy aftermarket ones as well. This was about $25 Canadian from the dealer, which is only $2 or $3 more than aftermarket ones, so I decided just to get the original Honda product to be safe. Apparently the first thing we're going to need to do is remove this plastic shroud to get access to the top of the radiator. And it's just held in with some clips. So I'm just going to work my way around and try to gently pull off all those clips. Gentle so I don't break the clips. There we go. The plastic shroud is off. Now we can see the radiator cap right here. You know, it's cold. You never do this while it's hot. The engine is cold right now. But I opened it, just make sure there's no pressure. There isn't. The engine's cold. So I'll remove the cap. Next, you got to get this car raised. However, you're going to safely work under the car, whether it's on ramps or on jack stands. But you have to get the car up because the drain is on the passenger side of the radiator. At the bottom, you can just see a white petcock valve through an opening in the under tray and that black drain nipple. But to get access to it, you need to remove a bunch of the under tray, which is attached with some 10mm bolts and a whole series of these plastic panel plugs that you need to pop out the center pin to pull out the panel plug. And when you get enough of those removed, you can sort of pry down on the passenger side of the under tray to get better access to that petcock. Now I installed a 5/16" short section of tubing there on the drain nipple just to control where it was going to drain to, and opened the petcock and drained it into some plastic containers. So that technique worked pretty well. Using the little hose, there wasn't that much spillage onto the garage floor. I can imagine it would have been a lot messier if I didn't put this little tube onto the drain spout and into a jug. That petcock was so tight, I couldn't get it off with just using my hand strength. So luckily I had this little pair of vice grips. I was able to get that onto the plastic, give it a bit of twist, and it came loose. So I got out about 5 liters out of there, I would guess. This one is almost full. This one's just less than 1/4 full. So I have purchased 2 jugs. I would suggest you buy 2 jugs if you are going to do this drain and fill technique. So next, I'll just make sure that petcock is nice and tight, reattach all of the plastic under trays, and go back up top, and we'll fill it from the top. So to fill it, I'm using a clean funnel and just pouring it directly into that rad cap opening. Okay, that's full right up to the spout here. So I'll put the cap back on, and we'll go start the engine and circulate the coolant for a while. Actually, I'm going to leave the cap off and circulate the engine for a while, see if any bubbles come out. Also take the reservoir cap off. I shot a light down in to see how full it is. It's below the minimum still, so I'm going to put just fill up the reservoir jug as well, up to somewhere in between the min and max lines. So I got in the car, started the engine, and put the heater on max to make sure that hot coolant would circulate through the heater core. I'm going to see if any bubbles come out, and in a minute or two I'll put the cap back on before it gets too hot. I don't want to wait till it's hot to put that cap on. I might get burnt. That's definitely hot air coming out now, so I know there is hot coolant going through the heater core. So that's it. I've been running it for about 10 minutes with the heater on. Got nice hot air circulating through the heater core. The coolant got warm, engine came up the temperature. The coolant reservoir is now about 1/3 down from the max, 2/3 up from the min. That's just fine. Gives it a little bit more room if it's on a hotter day to expand a little bit more. So I'm just going to attach the front trim piece again, and I'm all done. I hope you learned something. I hope you hit subscribe, and I hope to see you next time on Dave's Auto DIY. When you're done the job, you can reset the maintenance minder yourself. You can see I have several codes up right now. You can check the owner's manual for what each of them mean. I did not do all of these in this video, but I assure you I will do them all. I will post separate videos for each of those tasks. Nevertheless, I'm clearing the codes right now for them all. You go into the main screen. You go into the main screen into Settings, Vehicle, Maintenance Info, Reset. These are the things that were due. I've done them all, so I will clear them all. Reset. Would you like to reset maintenance information? Reset. And now the maintenance minder is cleared from the dash.